Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Age of the Primes Autobot Red Alert. We have Red Alert here in his emergency vehicle mode from Transformers Armada. It is a nice little car. I really like a couple things about this. One, I've always liked the Red Alert design. I don't think I ever owned the original Armada toy, but I like this as this like SUV emergency vehicle. Two, I like that despite the fact that we can kind of see the robot limbs below, there is plenty of really good clearance. This thing rolls really nicely. The paint around Red Alert is generally pretty nice. I like the dark gray we have, the red stripe, the tampograph bit is nice. The little bit of blue and black that we get breaks things up. We've got the headlights picked out nicely as well as the front grille. I do wish we had just a little more paint on the back. I appreciate that this piece wraps all the way around. That's nice. But getting this bumper in gray would have helped. Maybe getting some red on these windows in the back or something. Maybe the lights on the side just a little bit. It does look a little plain from that side. I also wish we got painted rims. I think that's kind of, again, one of those simple things that might cost like 10 cents per part to do, probably less than that, but probably about that if you're talking about labor, but just helps the toy look that much nicer. In terms of any articulation or features in this mode, there's not much. He's got plenty of points to peg stuff in. So I guess you've noticed that I didn't do a video on Tuesday. I did a short last Saturday and then a short on Thursday. I'm still in the process of unpacking. I'm pretty busy with work, and I'm actually leaving for Maine. I'm in Maine as of this video coming out, so I don't have the other Generations Armada figures. Like, I wanted to compare them to Hot Shot, compare them to Optimus Prime. I'll have to do that at a later point. But he does feel kind of nice and chunky. He feels like a big deluxe rather than a Voyager. And I do wish that he came with, I believe, Long Rack or Long Claw is his Armada Minicon. As is, like, none of his Minicon port stuff is functional, but he does have a Minicon port. So if you want to put his original Minicon up there, you can. But, it's still looking nice, and we can get into transformation. So transformation on Red Alert is pretty simple. We're going to start out on the back. We're going to untab the side panels here from the back. That lets us lift the car top a little bit out of the way, which lets us take and roll out our robot legs. They do have a click-in point like that, and then you can fold out the foot. And then I don't really have nails, but you got to get a nail in here to dig out the heel. There we go. Same thing on this side. We can roll out our leg, clicks in, roll out our heel, and come on. Oh, so close. You know what? Let's see if we can use the tool to get in there. There we go. Get out the heels like so. And we can see, Red Alert. I always thought this was interesting because the original toy was such a shell former. He's got like some really nicely shaped legs that don't really fit into his blocky alt mode at all. With that piece out of the way, we can come in here and we can split out the arms. They are tabbed together. Those split out, then they can roll out. They do have a nice double joint. We can fold those pieces out and then bring those elbows down. Same thing on that side. We're going to bring our camera up a little bit. And now we can take Red Alert's back piece. We're going to pop out this piece. There's some nice storage on them. Pop that piece out, fold it up, fold it back. We can bring this piece down to get his torso in place, and then bring this down and it'll tab in like so. Coming in up top, once again, we got to get kind of a nail in there. Open up the top of his hood, bring out our head, and then we can curl in two pieces the hood back down. And here is Red Alert. He does have some accessories like I mentioned. The first I want to show off, he's obviously doesn't have a left hand. Instead, he has some gun attachments, and they do store nicely in the back of his vehicle mode. He's got two different transparent gun attachments. So, you know, he can put on, let's turn it so that you get the tri-barrel up top. There we go. So we've got this piece, which is neat, but I like the bigger blaster piece. Yeah, I like how that looks a lot. And then this piece can go back in. I do like this storage. That does, to me, add a lot of value to the toy. And then this piece already popped out, but you can pop this out and bring it over the top on his shoulder. He's got a little rocket launcher. It's non-functional, unfortunately, but you can stick a rocket in there. Or if you want, you can take it off, and he can hold it in his left hand, like so. But I don't like how short that handle is. I do prefer it over the shoulder, like so. And yeah, Red Alert is a pretty good looking bot. In terms of design, it's a little odd in how much of a shell former it is, but I like the way his like body type is. It's weird to me in that I don't like the fact that it's a shell former, but I do like what the shell former lets him do, which is he kind of, his limbs, because they have nothing to do with his vehicle mode, can look kind of out of place in his vehicle in an interesting way, even if I don't like 100% love it. I do like that we do have some light piping here. We got that nice light pipe visor and a pretty handsome face. I like that face a lot. I don't like the fact that this head rattles around as much as it does. You can get it posed. It's on a platform, so there's kind of two joints here that you can twist and stuff. But I don't like how loose that platform is. And I don't really know that there's a good way to get in there, and it's this piece, so I don't think I can feature floor that in an effective manner. Again, he has all the same hex ports that he did before. He's got two more on his forearms. His arms do swivel 360. There's a bicep joint, as you saw, because of transformation. They're double jointed, which I appreciate. There is wrist swivel on the hand that is there, which I appreciate. He can do a surprisingly deep Van Damme, not a full Van Damme, but a surprisingly deep one, considering the way that his waist is cut. He does kick himself in the chest, but he can kick decently high. I appreciate that. And then his backward kick is very limited by the backpack. You have to move the backpack out of the way, and then he can kick plenty far back. He does have thigh swivel on those massive thighs. He does have a knee bend. No double articulation there, but if you break his shin, you can kind of cheat it out, which is, you know, something. I don't know that I'd ever use that. And then there is ankle tilt in the one direction, as well as toe tilt. So, you know, decently articulated for a Voyager. I think for me, he looks pretty good. We're going to get him next to his buddies from the wave so far. Comparing him to the deluxes, you can see where, yes, he is not a deluxe figure, but he doesn't really feel like a Voyager either. Kind of like what Ironhide from Siege was like a big deluxe. That's what this guy feels like. That being said, this is just part of the inflation we're seeing, the issues that we're seeing with the supply chain and the markets. Things are getting more expensive. I'm glad that I got him at the price I did. I'm pretty happy with it because I have some nostalgia for this character, even if I don't have nostalgia for the toy itself. But I think the new price for Voyagers is $40. Is he worth $40? I really struggle to recommend him at that price point. I think you're better off waiting and getting him on sale. And I do wonder what will happen to Transformers toy sales at these higher price points. I think a lot of people are going to find it harder and harder to justify toys at this higher price point. That was a look at Transformers Generations Age of the Primes Autobot Red Alert from the Armada universe. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye!